Yes. Like, yes, if you're struggling with something to where suicidal thoughts, you're cutting yourself, you don't want to deal with life, it's hard to get out of bed for longer seasons than normal. Like, yes, Jesus would support you going to see a therapist. We're going to look at these statistics on treatment and take a look at, in this country, in our country, just how Americans are doing who are struggling with, in fact, all these mental illnesses that we have talked about within these last two videos I've done. Percent of adults with mental illness who did not receive any mental health treatment, 56%. That's crazy. Number of adults with mental illness who did not receive any mental health treatment, 24.6 million. I was like, ouch. That's a lot, guys. Percent of adults with mental illness who report they try and can't get treatment, 20.6%. Number of adults with mental illness who report they try and can't get treatment, 9 million. That is a heartbreaking number right there. That's a lot of people just in our country, guys. That's a lot of people. Percent of youth, we're talking about youth here now, with depression who did not receive any mental health treatment, 61.5%. That's probably one of the most heartbreaking numbers I've read all night. Number of youths with depression who did not receive any mental health treatment, 1.8 million. Percent of youth with severe depression who receive some consistent treatment, 25%. Number of the youths with severe depression who receive some consistent treatment, 505,000. Ratio of individuals in a state to available mental health providers, 504 to 1. Ugh. I was like, ouch. That was something that really, not only did it hit home for me, and it was like near and dear to my heart, but just to see the number, I was like, this is the reason why we see so many incidences with mental illness, with suicide, with depression, with anxiety, right? With schizophrenia, with bipolar disorder. I mean, people can't even get help, guys. Like, at this point, this is something that the church really needs to be praying about when it comes to people who are struggling with mental illness. The numbers tell us that this is a real thing. This is a real thing. This is not something that is being made up. These are not numbers that people are just making up, like, or just based off of small surveys they're taking. We're talking about millions of people, 9 million youth. Like, that was probably one of the most heartbreaking statistics I read, like, the whole time. I mean, this is something that God cares about. We don't serve a God of confusion. We do not serve a God of confusion, right? We serve a God who wants you to have a sound mind. We serve a God who wants you to meditate on the word, right? We serve a God who wants you to be mentally healthy. Like, would Jesus want me to go see a therapist? Yes. Like, yes, if you're struggling with something to where suicidal thoughts, you're cutting yourself, you don't want to deal with life, it's hard to get out of bed for longer seasons than normal. Like, yes, Jesus would support you going to see a therapist. I really don't care what any other person tells you. I'm telling you that this is a godly thing. There's a reason why we see Jesus Christ around people. If anyone could have did life alone, it was him. Like, people who are struggling with mental illness, the main tool the enemy uses to really lock someone in a mental cage when it comes to things like this is putting them in isolation, is making them believe that, hey, I don't want to put my burdens on other people. I don't want to tell other people what's going on with me. They might judge me. They might make fun of me. They might ask me, why don't I have this already figured out? They might ask me, what am I thinking? Like, who cares? Like, if you don't have a friend or someone you can go talk to, go find a pastor. I talk to people all of the time. I spiritually counsel people all the time. Sometimes it can be night and day. Like, clearly I have a wife and I have other things that I need to do. But sometimes, like, people truly need me. And, like, I'm thankful for the type of wife that I have, because sometimes, like, she'll see someone call me and she's just like, babe, go ahead, go. Like, it's fine. We'll do this in a second. But it's like, that you need to make yourself available for people, especially if you call yourself a Christian. And we have, like, out of all of these millions of people, out of the statistics that I've read, we can't possibly think there's no Christians in these numbers. We would be fooling ourselves to think that, guys. Like, we already have seen pastors that have unfortunately taken their lives. We've seen people in the church who have taken their lives, right? We know people are struggling with mental illness, and this is a real thing. So we need to start standing up, saying more about it, being more vocal about it, talking about it more, and praying about it. Praying for our brothers and sisters who are believers in Christ and who are struggling with this, right? Binding those spirits, right? And loosing health, right? Loosing mental clarity, and also praying for our brothers and sisters who do not believe yet in Christ, because we are called to love them, right? I hope you guys are enjoying this, right? We're going to come back with our next video is going to be about, is there trauma in the Bible? And of course there is. So that's what we're going to get more into in the next video. We're going to talk about some traumatic situations that have happened in the Bible. And I can't wait for this next sermon series I'm going to jump into. I know you guys are going to love it. So I'm super excited about it. You guys get hype about it, because God over culture is almost coming to an end. We're not done yet, but we're almost there. So you guys hang tight for these last couple episodes. We're wrapping it up here. And then we're going into a sermon series. So share this video with someone who is suffering with any type of mental illness that you're aware of, whether it's a friend or a family member, PTSD, schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, anxiety, depression. Share this video with someone who you know could really use this and it would help them. And I encourage you guys to stay tuned, because the next couple of ones that are coming up, you're really going to enjoy them. We're going to wrap this up and jump into the series. So I hope this is helping you guys. Make sure you're sharing it, you're subscribing, turning on post notifications so you can see when the next couple of videos are dropping. So stay tuned, guys. Take care of yourselves. And what do I always say? Love yourselves, love one another, but most of all, love God. Peace.